Can everybody see that?
Yes, of course. It's visible.
We're great. Lovely. So I'm really glad that we're talking today because people who train with us at Quest for Success, they know that they have more potential and more capacity for growth, and they're looking for a roadmap to help them get there more quickly. So I found from my experience that to be successful, you need to surround yourself with people who can help you grow and help you release that potential. So you're in the right room right now. So I want to introduce a couple of people here. I want to introduce Natalie. Natalie is our Success Pathway Coordinator. And at some point, if you haven't done already, you'll probably get a phone call from her to have a nice conversation about your direction. And she is an expert in signposting you to where to go next. I also want to introduce Rod. Rod Harlow is our training partner from New Perspective NLP. And at our trainers training, you don't just get the benefit of one master trainer, you get the benefit of two. So I remember some 17 years ago being where you are now and making that decision to become a trainer of NLP. And when I made that decision, it was quite a major moment in my life, in my career, because it transformed my coaching business and it crafted my lifestyle. So let me share with you how I did that. So NLP Trainers Training 2026 is our seventh event. So we're at the point where we really know what we're doing. And every year I learn something new, and every year I enhance the training. In fact, even this morning, I've been working on the new format for NLP Trainers Training and adding in lots of new content. So we grow every year. We set you up to succeed. That's the main vision and mission of the whole training, setting you up to succeed. Because we know what it takes to be a trainer of NLP and we know how to get you there. So we make the point of learning about you, about your individual goals, and help you figure out how to get there. So when you write your goals, I hope you've made them really big. When you think about your goals, you should look at them and think, how am I going to make that happen? And if you're asking yourself those questions, your goal is big enough. If it feels really easy, like, oh yeah, I can do that in a week or a month and it'll be easy. Your goal isn't big enough. It's not stretching you enough. So NLP Trainers Training is really a totally exhilarating experience. You can see some of the happy smiling faces on these photographs of our previous graduates. And you know, nobody has ever said, I wish I'd waited to do this training. In fact, most people tell me they wish they'd trusted themselves and completed the training much sooner. I know it's very easy to sit and say, next year, I'll do it next year. And you know, the impact of doing that is huge if we think of it from a psychological basis, because you're telling your unconscious mind that you can't have what you want. And of course, your unconscious mind is going to respond accordingly. So part of our training is to help you to solve modern day challenges. Because we all have them, of course we do. We all have challenges in our personal life, in our work life, that we'd really like to solve. And NLP Trainers Training can take you some way towards doing that. So when you feel stuck between who you are and who you know you're meant to become, because you've got more in you than just being a practitioner. And what it is you haven't yet stepped into your next identity. So this training resolves the internal friction of living between two versions of yourself. The challenge of knowing you have more to offer, and yet you don't fully own it publicly. So you hold back when you're online, you hold back in conversations or in groups because you don't feel fully authorized to be heard. So trainers training gives you that internal permission to be seen, to be heard, and to be followed. Relying on one-to-one work that caps your time, your energy, and your income. So I've been there. I started my business as a coach doing one-to-one work. And I know how challenging it can be to get to a point where you're earning what you want to earn through one-to-one coaching. Working session to session limits both your impact and your earning potential. So this training equips you to move into group work and leverage your time from one-to-one to one-to-many. And that breaks down the time for money ceiling. Feeling uncertain about your long-term career direction. So I'm guessing you've got a sense that NLP could be more than a side skill or a modality that you use. And you haven't yet defined that place in your future. So NLP Trainers Training clarifies where NLP will fit into your life path. Maybe you're second guessing yourself when you're leading groups and speaking in public. So even with experience, you hesitate or you overthink when you're visible. Even with experience, you can hesitate. And trainers training replaces that self-doubt with grounded presence and leadership under observation. Maybe your income is inconsistent or unpredictable at the moment. Your work helps people, and yet your earnings tend to fluctuate. So becoming a trainer allows you to build structured, predictable income streams through programs, trainings, and cohorts. Maybe you feel disconnected from the meaning in your work. You want your work to stand for something beyond being transactional. So when you train others, it creates your legacy, a contribution to society, and continuity. So it's more about the wider community than just a single client's results. Teaching or sharing in NLP in a way that feels a bit diluted or generic because you're not yet running certification programs. You don't want to sound like everybody else. Now, I've experienced NLP trainers training across 3 continents. And what I've experienced is that many of them train their students to do what is essentially reading out loud. And I know you can do that already. You don't need teaching how to read something out loud. So what we do is different. We're going to help you to get a distinct trainer presence. And you can do that whilst still honouring your NLP standards and your NLP lineage. So we help you to find your own character in training. Maybe at the moment you're avoiding better opportunities and bigger opportunities because you think you're not ready yet. So you delay running workshops and trainings or group work. And because you're delaying that, you're delaying income and you're delaying impact. So this training collapses hesitation and makes it into decisive action. And finally, maybe you're feeling like your growth has plateaued personally. So you've done a lot of personal work and yet something feels incomplete, unfinished. So NLP Trainers Training is immersive and it reignites your personal evolution, your confidence, and your trust in yourself. So it's all about the transformation of you. We work with you to make sure that you are a powerful and exceptional presenter, trainer, and public speaker. And with that comes leadership. So you'll be a leader that people want to listen to, they want to see. People will love to follow you. And you become a person of influence, a world-class trainer. And with that, you can become the driving force behind an accredited training institute. So you become someone who's doing, being, and having exactly what they want. You start on a growth trajectory. And by doing that, I know that you're ready to change. Now, the thing is, people don't just want to be trained anymore. That time's gone. People want to be entertained at the same time. So in line with today's expectations, we teach you how to train with charisma, performing authentically in your very own way. And if that feels a bit outside your comfort zone right now, then this is an essential learning for your growth. We'll make it comfortable. So NLP Trainers Training is a model. We know that NLP was founded on modeling. It's a model of training excellence. So how to speak professionally with that charisma and with excellence. And that allows you to fast track your career because you have new skills in speaking, in presenting and training and leadership. And that can lead you to bigger promotions. You get the best roles, the best projects, the best teams to lead. So we teach you how to express your thoughts and your expertise effortlessly and expertly in meetings, presentations, and workshops. We also make sure that you're ready to run a training business. So you understand all the NLP business opportunities. By learning to be an exceptional trainer, you increase your visibility. You'll be heard. People will see you. People will hear you. And it increases your employability if you want to stay in a career path rather than run your own business. So we'll help you to avoid all those pitfalls that public speakers typically make. And by offering you an internationally recognised accreditation, we enhance your credibility. We also help you in your leadership skills. So being able to facilitate and lead groups of people gives you a level of respect that is missing from a great deal of leadership in the world today. We enable you to double your sales from where they are now by becoming a more effective speaker when you're presenting yourself in networking groups to potential clients, to potential corporate clients. So when you present yourself and your services, you can do that more effectively. And that helps you to create a bigger sales funnel with less effort than you're putting in at the moment. So enabling you to create, build, and sustain value-based long-term client relationships that will recession-proof your business. When you nurture your client relationships, you'll get repeat custom. And repeat customers are what enhance and give your business longevity. It's the people who keep coming back and tell all of their friends how amazing your training was. So we help you to get started as a trainer and make your career profitable right from the beginning. So we help you to create a business that is essentially ready to go right on graduation. Now, there's a lot of talk these days about trainings being carried out online and trainings being carried out face-to-face. Now, I have no problem whatsoever with online trainings. I can see all of its benefits. When we're thinking about learning to train, learning to stand in front of audiences of all different sizes, I would argue that that's best done face-to-face. We're training you how to connect with people, how to energetically engage people into your information, into your knowledge giving. And that just can't be done successfully online. So our NLP Trainers Training is a destination training. We hold the training on the Greek island of Evia. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later on. We can also offer NLP Trainers Training with or without evaluation. So evaluation is the testing period, the 4 days at the end of the training. And that's where we can certify you, give you your certificate, because you've proven to be a trainer of real excellence. Now, if holding practitioner and master practitioner trainings isn't what you're looking for, and you are looking for all the skill sets that NLP Trainers Training will give you, you can choose to do the training without evaluation. So that's a choice that we open up to you. So how do we do this? How do we create exceptional and powerful public speakers and trainers? What are we doing that's enabling us to do that? Well, we encourage you to install 30 key behaviors at the unconscious level. 30. Imagine that. 30 new key behaviors. We provide an exceptional learning environment. So we teach in a beautiful mansion that's been renovated in Evia, in Greece. We have the whole site to ourselves. So you stay there, your accommodation is there, and you train there, which means that your commute to work in the morning is about 10 yards. So it means that you've got a beautiful environment to work in. You've got beautiful warm weather. You have a beautiful, beautiful nature-rich environment. You have places to go that are very serene, very quiet. so that you can always be in the right mindset to study. We think it's important because if you're running home at the end of each night to see to the children or walk the dog or make a meal or even do another piece of work, you're not going to have the energy to put everything you've got into securing all of the new skills in the training. So by putting you into a bubble, if you like, an NLP training bubble, you get that mind space so that you can fully be integrated into the training. If you've trained with us before, there are many practical exercises that we do at practitioner and master practitioner training. It's very integrative, it's very hands-on, and NLP Trainers Training is no exception to that. So lots of practical experience. If you're learning to do something, you need to put it into practical use, and you do that right there in the training room. That's important because that means that we can give you high quality, targeted, highly individualized feedback. We run an open architecture training. That means everything that I know about running an NLP training business that I've gathered over 20 years of experience, I will make that visible to you. We hold nothing back. What we know, you will know. So we reveal all our secrets. We also make all of the slide packs and all of the manuals for practitioner and master practitioner training available to you. So there's no starting to write manuals from scratch. You can take manuals that are fully formed, slide packs, which are created in exactly the right way to engage your audience, and have that the moment you graduate. And even then, after graduation, you're not left on your own. We will provide you with 3 months one-to-one mentoring after you graduate from the training. And that means you've got somebody who knows how to set up a training business right in your corner. So we've got your back even after the training, and we'll make sure that you can get your training business up and running very quickly. And you have lifetime access to our support as we go forward. We even make sure that during trainers training, you get some headshots, some training shots, and a showstopper video for your socials. So you even will have something to start to put out into the world the moment you leave the training. So if often people say, well, what am I going to put on my socials? I've got no pictures of me at the front of a training room delivering training. You will have. And we'll make sure that you've got what you need to start off. And we even give you training in sales and marketing, because that's a huge part of running your own business. You spend so much time in that modality. So we give you training in that area too. So essentially, what we're giving you is a training business in a box. Everything that you need. So it's an 18-day training with evaluation. So how on earth do you create the time? Everybody says, oh, I'm so time poor. I don't have the time. So we know how you can create that time. As human beings, we find it easy to create the space for the things that we value. So for example, you will always find time to take 2 weeks off for a holiday because it's valuable to you. And the philosophy that we hold here at Quest for Success is that anything is possible when you want it. There is always a way. So what you need to do is decide now. Put your plans into place. If you have a full-time job, book your work leave. Do it now. And then have the conversation with your circle, your family, your friends, and ask for their support. Now, people often say, and this is quite natural, how can I leave my family? My family won't function if I'm not there. And actually, sorry to say this, your family will function if you're not there. Think about it this way. You're giving your family a growth opportunity of their very own. So whilst you're off on your personal development journey, taking the training, they're also experiencing a growth opportunity in continuing daily functioning, daily life with you out of the picture. And that will be a learning experience for them. And it will also give them skills that they never knew they had. So always think about that. This is a growth opportunity for the people who are not going on the training, as well as for you. And we can show time for the illusion that it is. Time is man-made, it doesn't really exist. So if you want to create space for the training, you can go ahead and do that. So this is a destination training, and you'll see some of the beautiful pictures here. This is our venue, swimming pool included. Now, the costs associated with the destination training, I guess at first instance, you're thinking, oh, that's going to be so expensive. Let me reframe that for you. The costs of attending are actually very low. In fact, the cost of attending in Greece are a lot lower than attending the training in the UK. How is that possible? Well, you can get flights that cost less than a train journey in the UK. You can get flights that cost less than daily fuel consumption driving to and from a venue every day. And because we're training outside of the UK, there is no VAT. So that's 20% savings straight off. The accommodation costs are far less than in the UK because Quest for Success subsidised the accommodation. In Greece, in Evia, eating out and socialising is extremely low cost. And we provide you, as you can see on the beautiful picture here, with a full cooked lunch. So you eat your main meal at lunchtime and all you need in the evening is a snack. In fact, most people, you can see how much food is groaning on that table. Most people take the leftovers from lunch and have them as their snack in the evening. So no cost at all there. And what's most important is the energetic cost to you is extremely low because you're not running around doing all the other things that you would normally do in your daily life. You're just integrated into the training and all your energy can go that way. So how do you create the investment? So in the context of any purchase that is linked to your business or to your career, and this is what I always ask myself when I'm thinking of taking a training or engaging in something that has a cost, I always ask myself, what will this make me? Rather than what will this cost me? So I always think, how will this improve my business? What will this make me? Let me put my coaching hat on for a moment. If I was talking to a coaching client and they said, oh, I can't have what I want, I don't have the money for that. I'd say, you know what? Money is often not the reason why you don't do something. There's other things that support that objection. And when we don't challenge our thinking, the thoughts harden in our mind. So if you feel like the world is getting more challenging, look at your inputs to that world. Are you learning Or are you just building a fortress around you? You need to check your boundaries. Because when something's uncertain, and right now, NLP Trainers Training is uncertain. We resist what's uncertain because it's different from now. So to break out of that uncertainty trap, you have to do the uncomfortable work. That's the work that's outside of your comfort zone. So I would always say to my coaching clients, stop arguing for your limitations and find the strongest version of the opposite view. And if your excuses can't survive a smart challenge, they aren't worth holding on to. So check that price tag. Ask yourself, what's the actual cost of me holding on to my limitations? And if it's costing you growth, success, or truth, then the price is way too high. So the goal is to avoid being blinded by your self-imposed limitations. And that means staying flexible. So NLP Trainers Training is very different from other trainings because you can create the funding before you even get to the training. How? Well, you schedule your first NLP practitioner training right now. So you schedule it for the end of this year or early next year. And you sell the training. So if you do the sums, you only need 5 people in a practitioner training to pay for the entirety of your trainer's training. Just talk to people, tell everybody you know what you're doing, and ask for their assistance. Last year, one of our students sold 20 places on her first practitioner training before she even attended NLP Trainers Training. And all she did was communicated with her existing contact list. That's all she did. She generated £24,000 before the training. Now think about it. If that's actually more than your annual coaching income is at the moment, then Trainers Training is a seriously valuable proposition for you. And then you can take out a payment plan. And we know that when you give objections in your mind to yourself why you can't have what you want, it's never really about time and money. So what does the investment look like? So you can pay in full, 5K, with no VAT involved. You can take out a payment plan, or you can pay half now and half 2 weeks prior to the training. Now, the best way for us to work out exactly how I can make this happen for you is for us to have a one-to-one chat. So I'm going to ask Natalie. Natalie, could you please put the Calendly link into the chat? Thank you. So use the Calendly link and grab half an hour, and you can do that this afternoon. You can do that tomorrow. We can have a discussion about how this can be made into reality for you. And it also enables me to understand what your goals are so that I know that this is the right training for you and that we can fully fulfill the goals that you have. So what happens when you register? So this year's Trainers Training is the 18th of May to the 4th of June. And as soon as you register, you receive your full welcome pack immediately. And that includes full details of the preparation you need to do in advance of Trainers Training. You get access to our online resources. We give you all the travel and accommodation details, and I mean everything. Getting to Evia is incredibly simple. We will make it so easy for you. We will even give you the names and personal phone numbers of the taxi drivers that you'll use. So you will have everything, nothing to concern yourself with about the travel. We also give you the test questions and the answers for the test that you do in evaluation. Now, when does that ever happen? So you'll have the questions and the answers. All you need to do is familiarize yourself with them. In the run up to trainers training, right from sign up, you will receive one-to-one coaching sessions with myself to make sure that you're fully prepared for attending NLP trainers training. Because what we found is the more you do in advance, the less you have to do when you're there. So you can spend more time enjoying the beautiful Greek weather and the beautiful village and the beautiful views, the beautiful walks that you can do, and less time studying. So the more you do now, the less you have to do when you're there. So we'll book in your first coaching session, which we do online. You'll get introductions to fellow students and all the monthly support that you need. So any question that you have, we can facilitate in the run up to trainers training. So to thank you for being here, we have some bonuses. So if you haven't yet taken your NLP Master Practitioner training, we will attach that to NLP Trainers Training for half price. Or you can add Hypnosis Trainers Training to NLP Trainers Training for just £500. That saves a whopping £2,500. Or you can make use of our friends discount. So if you've got a friend or a colleague or a family member who also wants to attend NLP Trainers Training and you book together, you get the second seat at half price and then share the saving. So that means just £3,750 per seat. And we only have 12 seats available. We like to keep the training small so that everybody gets a personalized experience. So what do you do next? Book a one-to-one call for today or tomorrow. Use the Calendly link in the chat to do that, and we can talk directly so that you can feel inspired by the endless possibilities opening to you when you choose to take action and say yes to yourself. So let's talk. You can also call me. My number and my email address are right there on the slide. What I'll also do is send you the recording of this session so that you can review what's been said. So we're at the point now when I'm going to ask, do you have any questions? Prissy, anything you'd like to ask?
Pretty much understand the whole process and how I can enroll myself for master trainer and hypnosis as well. So give me some time so that I will have the understanding what I can do and what step I can take for master trainer and hypnosis classes as well. So could you please do me a favor by giving me some of the time to think on it?
Of course, of course.
Uh, yeah, okay, fine. But let me tell you one more thing that it is a very new platform for me, as this is a very first time I am interacting with you. So kindly, please send me the details, or just I want to have the further knowledge regarding how much you have from your perspective or perception. So
Great.
thank you so very much for giving me this detail. These details giving me a highlight and gives me a lot of understanding regarding NLP practitioner and the NLP master practitioner course as well. So yes, thank you so very much, and kindly send me the details regarding. Okay, I will send you. I'm just writing down my email address in the chat box. Please
Thank you.
share your details, and I will surely try to connect with you. Yeah,
Thank you
that's all.
so much.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Okay, we're going to say goodbye then. Thank you. Goodbye.